Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Music by itself is a very beautiful language. And if you look at the music world over, we see that there are such a variety of music prevalent in different parts of the globe. But today we'll be confining ourselves to Indian classical music, more specifically Carnatic music, which is also known as South Indian classical music. Hindustani music or Carnatic music, whatever be it, the Indian classical musical system, we see that there are basically three main components which come to make the music itself. That is melody, rhythm and words, which are technically known as raga, tala and sahitya. Now in the Hindustani system or the Carnatic system, we see that this raga, tala and sahitya come together in very many different ways to create the music. So that way we also have technically two kinds of or two branches, I would say, of music, that is Kalpita and Manodharma Sangeeta. Now this raga, tala and sahitya come together, as I said, in Kalpita, that is the pre-composed music, which again offers a variety fair, I would say, in terms of the varied compositions like Varnam, Kriti, Tillana, Javali, Padam, Abang, Kavadi Chinde, Tirupugal, Tevaram and so many more varieties about which we'll be discussing later in detail also. Coming to the Manodharma aspects where this raga, tala and sahitya come together, we have very many beautiful forms like the alapana, the tanam, the neraval, the swaram. And these also will be discussing their aesthetics in detail in the future sessions. As I said, the raga becomes the core material for the whole of the Indian classical music system itself. And how this raga is handled in each of this, that is the two main streams, the Hindustani and the Carnatic, is what also makes it very different from one from the other. That is, the raga becomes the material, the notes are the same, it's the 7 notes and their varieties which actually are predominant in both the systems and they are blossoming in different ways in the two systems. Concentrating on the Carnatic music system, I could say that how do we actually define a raga? If we look at a ragam, if I tell to a students also, for example, if I say Kalyani, Shankarabharanam, Todi, Bhairavi, like this, immediately the first thing that we have to understand or how we understand a raga is through the Arohana, Avrohana. So what is a Arohana, Avrohana? First of all, Arohana is the ascending scale and Avrohana is the descending scale. Let us look at a few examples to see how this Arohana, Avrohana operates. Also, I would say that the Arohana, Avrohana, though may not be able to have the entire compass or the entire range of the particular ragam cannot be defined by the ragam in terms of, I would say there are some specific phrases which go to define a ragam, but nevertheless the Arohana, Avrohana as such acts as a pointer to how the ragam should actually flow. So first let us look at some of the very common ragas, like if you take Sari Gama Pada Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Ri Sa. This is a very common ragam known to all of us and it is also present in the Western mode as the major scale, Shankarabharanam. But if I just sang it like Sari Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Ri Sa, it was looking lackluster actually because of the fact that there were no gamakas in this. So again, we'll also be discussing about how gamakas add so much of life to each and every scale to make it become a raga. So now, coming back to this Arohana, Avarona, if I want to make it sound much more like Shankarabharanam, I would sing it with the respective gamakas like Sari Gama Padani Sa Sani Da Pa Magari Sa. When we talk about the subject of gamakas, we'll go more into detail about how the gamakas give a distinct kind of a characteristics to each ragam. This was a very straight ragam where you had the notes in a proper sequence. So let's look at another Arohana, Avarona of a ragam where it is more kind of, vakra or zigzag. Like, for example, if you take Riti Gaula, Sagari Gama Nidama Ni Sa Sa Nidama Gama Pamagari Sa. Though there are many purists, I would say, who say that a raga cannot be defined entirely by a Arohana, Avarona, but nevertheless for a student of music, I would say it is very, very useful. So coming back to the same Arohana, Avarona, let us examine it a bit more intently, I would say, like Sagari Gama, that is the first phrase. So in this phrase itself, you understood that very subtly, the Arohana tells you that it's not Sari Gama. We all know that Riti Gaula is a janya of Karahara Priya. So the movement here is zigzag of Sagari Gama, and then there is no pa, there is no da, and it jumps from ma to ni. So Sagari Gama Ni Da Ma. That's the next phrase coming in as indicated by the Arohana. So the Arohana gives us another lead as to how the movement should happen. Then a very, very important phrase in Riti Gaula, which is also a part of the Arohana you would have seen. Ni, ni, sa. This kind of a janta prayoga of a note is something very rarely seen in Carnatic music, in the Arohana especially. So this ni, ni, sa actually is becoming a signature tune or signature of the ragam itself. Ni, ni, sa. And this ni, ni, sa has been very beautifully explored in many compositions, which we will also be seeing later, where in fact the opening note itself is like in a song like Janani Ninnu Veena Ni Ni Sa. It opens with the phrase Ni Ni Sa itself. So this Ni Ni Sa again becomes an important part of the Arohana. In the same ragam, we see that while coming back also there is a zigzag movement, and that needs to be taken care of as part of the Avarohana. Sa ni da ma, till there it is fine. After that, ga ma pa ma ga ri sa. So that little bit of that panchama coming in between in the Avarohana gives it that beautiful aesthetic flavor. Another example we could take is again of the Arohana, Avarona and the movement to show how it acts as a pointer again is Begada. Sagari Gama Pada Pa Sa Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Ri Sa. So Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Ri Sa. There is no it's a very straight kind of a movement of the Sampurnatva flowing down. But in the Arohana you saw that Vakra Sagari Gama, one phrase of a Vakra or a zigzag. Pada Pa Sa. It's not Padasa or Padanisa, but Pada Pa Sa. So that way we can see that the raga is basically or in a very fundamental level defined by the Arohana, Avarona. Of course, in an expansive level, how the ragam will flow again depends on the distinct phrases which have come to be absorbed by the ragam. It is also defined by the different kind of gamakas, because gamakas are what give life to the ragam, and again we see that there are so many kinds of gamakas in our Carnatic music system, and according to the context we apply it to give that respective characteristics. If we look at again the ragam from another perspective, I could say that it is a musical entity and it has its own kind of a character. And here we could probably compare this raga to a human being also, in the sense that like each of us have a different character. And when we name a person, say for example, you say Rita or Suresh or Subramaniam or Rama or somebody like that, when I tell you the name, immediately, probably if you know somebody by that name, you immediately think of the characteristics of that particular person and you are able to relate the name to that person. So similarly, this also applies to raga. So when I tell Hindolam, immediately a person who has some cognizance of music and is a student of music or has learned music would immediately be able to think of the notes which go to make Hindolam. Suppose I say Mohanam, Amritavarshini, Hamsadvani, Revati, like this each ragam when I tell, you are able to visualize a character for that particular ragam. These ragas again, each time when we look at this raga system that has evolved in our Indian classic music system, we see that it is absolutely amazing. And each time you look at the ragam, it is a revelation, I would say, in many, many ways. And like our own human beings, I would say that they also have different kind of characteristics, and each character offers a beautiful aesthetic flavor to us. In a ragam, we see what is defined by the ragam is that it defines the notes to be encompassed, their variety, their order, intonation, duration, ornamentation, all of it is defined by the particular ragam and its arohana, avarohana. So thus we could say that every ragam stands for a definite and independent idea. Again, in terms of, as I said, the order, we can go back to the example of Shankarabharanam and Riti Gaula that we did earlier, where the order again is of one of straight or zigzag. That all we will be talking in detail a bit more in the subsequent session, the part of the session actually. Now coming to the ornamentation in music, we see that the ornamentations are very, very vital for any raga to bring out its original and individual characteristics. For example, let us take a ragam like Sahana. I am taking very Rakti ragas, that is phrase oriented ragas, so that you understand what I am trying to say here. In Sahana, a phrase like Pa ma ga ma ri ga ri sa, pa ma ga ma ri ga ri sa. So this particular phrase actually gives you a clear and distinct understanding that it is Sahana. So where as a raga, you don't even have to traverse the entire arohana, avarohana to give its identity. So like that, even in the case of, if you look at Riti Gaula, ni sa ga ga ma, these two phrases probably are very important phrases which define the ragam. Or if you take a ragam like Saveri, where the arohana, where you see a particular phrase like sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa, pa da ma ga ri, sa ri ma ga ri, sa ri ga ri, sa ri ma pa, like that with the gamakas you are able to see it. And aesthetically, as I said, every raga attains a beautiful form when presented through a composition or the manodharma. Now, if you look at composition, as I mentioned earlier also, the composition can be a varnam, a kriti, javali, and in each type of composition, the raga unfolds in a different way. That also we'll be talking in detail later. If you look at the manodharma aspect, for example, the same Shankarabharanam, if I take it in the form of an alapana, that aesthetics is totally different. For example, tadan na 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 re no tatari re na na. The sound of this aesthetics of Shankarabharanam is quite obviously different from a composition in the same ragam like Magha Lakshmi Jagal Mata Manamirangi Varamarul. The same Shankarabharanam in a different kind of a composition of a different composer. Yenduku Pedala. So we see that the ragam, as I mentioned earlier also, apart from the arohana, avarohana, all these kinds of different kinds of what I would say is that the characteristics which go into it, like we mentioned about the intonation, the duration, all these gamakas together give the ragam a holistic feel. In concerts also we see that the same aesthetics apply, in the sense that all of you definitely as students or as Rasikas would have been listening to a lot of concerts. And in the concert again, there's a beautiful arrangement of these ragas, not on basis of, I would say, technicality, but it is more a matter of aesthetics, in the sense that we have a mixture of Shuddha Madhyama ragas, Pratimadhyama ragas, Audava ragas, Vakra ragas, Bhashanga ragas, Sampurna ragas. So different kind of ragas through different compositions give us a different aesthetic feel, and that is very important in a concert. We'll be talking about the aesthetics of these ragas in the context of a concert later also. Coming to more detail about the ragas, and I would say that every raga has a beauty of its own, as I told you earlier also. So first let us look at the completeness of a scale which gives its distinct beauty, I would say. We have already elaborated Shankarabharanam, so let me take another ragam for you, Keeravani. Sari Gama Padani Sa Sani Da Pa Magari Sa Sari Gama Gari Sari Gama Padani Sa Sari Gama Gari Sani Da Pa Magari Gama Padani Sa Dani Pada Pa Magari Pa Magari Sa. Or Todi, for example, Sari Gama Padani Sa. Or Latangi, Sari Gama Padani Sa. So these are all ragams where you saw that all the 7 notes are there, and this is a particular kind of a aesthetic beauty. Coming to the notes being absent in the ragam, for example, Hindolam, Hamsadvani, Valaj, where you have only 5 notes, like for example Hindolam, Sa Ga Ma Da Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Ma Ga Sa, or Hamsadvani, Sa Re Ga Pa Ni Sa Sa Ni Pa Ga Re Sa, or Valaj, Sa Ga Pa Da Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Pa Ga Sa. Now this absence of notes, there can be different ways. For example, in this particular ragams that I sang for you, there were only 5 notes, that is 2 notes were avoided in each case. And of course, in each ragam, the notes that were avoided were quite different. And we also come to another combination of 6 note ragas, where you have only 6 notes in the ascent and descent, that is the Arohana and Avarohana. Let us take the example of Sri Ranjini. Sari Ga Ma Da Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Ma Ga Re Sa Sari Ga Ma Da Ni Da Ma Ga Re Ga Ga Ma Da Ni Sa Ni Da Ma Ga Re Ga Ma Da Ma Ga Re Ga Ma Ga Re Sa Ni Da Ni Sa. Or another example of a ragam in the same 6 note, Malaya Marutam. Sari Ga Pa Da Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Pa Ga Re Sa Sari Ga Pa Ga Re Ga Pa Da Ni Da Sari Ga Pa Ga Re Ga Ga Pa Da Ni Da Pa Da Ni Sa Ni Da Pa Ga Re Ga Pa Ga Re Sa. Or Lalita, Sari Ga Ma Da Ni Sa Sa Ni Da Ma Ga Re Sa Sari ga ma da ma ga re ga ma da ni da ma ga re sa. Sometimes we also see that the raga may not be always in a kind of a symmetry of like having 5 notes going up and 5 notes coming down, as we saw in the case of Hindolam or Hamsadvani or Mohanam, etc. So sometimes in the asymmetry, that is, for example, if you take a ragam like Bilahari, you would see that there are only 5 notes in the ascent, while coming back it is all the 7 notes, like sa ri ga pa da sa sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa ri ga pa da sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. Or another example, Saveri sa re ma pa da sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa ri ma pa da sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. A very, very common ragam which every student learns while starting off the Geetam is Malahari. So let's look into that. Sa ri ma pa da sa da pa ma ga ri sa. So these are all ragams where you see that the asymmetry of the ragam is what lends the beauty or the aesthetic beauty. Sometimes a ragam may also take a foreign note, that is a note which does not belong to the scale, like for example, a very common example, Bhairavi. Sa ga ri ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. Or the zigzag, as I mentioned earlier also. Sa ga ri ga ma ni ni sa ni da ba ga ma pa ma ga ri sa. We'll go into detail all this further, just making a mention here. Sometimes you also have the discordant notes adding to the aesthetic beauty, like for example, if you take a ragam like Chalanata, sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. So sometimes we also see that the beauty of the note is revealed in the different kinds of manipulations of the gamakas. And even within the same raga, a particular note may have different shades. For example, if you take the Gandhara in Todi, you see ga ri sa ga ma pa, or da ga da ma ga ri sa ri ga ri sa da ga ri sa. Like that, we see that if you take the same note in the context of different ragas, 2 ragas, that is Mayamalagala and its Janya Lalita. In Mayamalagala, the Madhyama as allied to the Gandhara, that is the Gandhara actually does not stand on its sthana, but like pa pa ma pa da pa ma ga ga ma da da pa ma ga ma pa ma ga ri sa. The same Gandhara in the context of Lalita, which is a Janya of this Mayamalagala, and its Arona goes like sa ri ga ma da ni sa ni da ma ga ri sa. So in the absence of the Panchama, where it's a Panchama Varjya ragam, you see that the ma ga, the ga becomes much more plain and it's more on its sthana. So again we see that how the aesthetic beauty is also dependent on the movement of the note, the same note I would say, in the context of different ragas. Thus we could say that ragas of Carnatic music are so filled with so much of beauty, I would say, and performing a ragam or listening to a ragam is a beautiful aesthetic experience. And the ragam, as I mentioned in the beginning also, is a core element of our Indian classical music system, be it Carnatic or Hindustani, and this particular concept of raga, I would say, reveals so many dimensions, be it through a composition or through manodharma. When it combines with tala, it is one thing. When it combines with the sahitya, again also adding to it, it gets a different dimension. So thus we could say that the raga is one of the most beautiful aesthetic aspect of our Carnatic music system.